Hola! I'm about to go to the supermarket and see if I can find kimchi. There is a Korean neighborhood that's kind of near the center of town, but I think the shops there are going to close pretty soon because it's Sunday. So I'm going to try a really bougie supermarket in a fancy neighborhood nearby. One of the things that makes moving abroad really fun for me is that everyday life becomes an adventure. Everything is a little bit different, and that does make some things really tricky because I just don't know how to do them, but it makes everything a little bit more exciting. It helps you to really live absolutely in the moment. I've written my shopping list here on paper, translated everything into Spanish. I'm excited to see what differences there are. Hopefully I'll be able to find the food on my list. And now I'm ready to go. Jumbo is basically Chile's version of Waitrose. I just got into the supermarket and it's super loud. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear me at all because there's a lot of people here Sunday afternoon and there's pretty loud music on. So the first thing I noticed that I find interesting is that you come in straight into the booze section. In Sweden, obviously, alcohol is in a whole different shop. You can't buy it in the supermarkets. But in England, I think when you go into a supermarket, you normally start in fruit and veg. I had never realised that was a thing I thought was normal until suddenly there's a different thing. There's a whole refrigerator for pisco sours. I tried one in Valparaiso last weekend. It's a traditional drink from Chile. I think it's made of brandy and lemon and I think egg, but I'm not 100% sure on that. There's a lot of brands I recognise from home, but some of them have different names. So for example, Walker's is called Lay's here, but I think that might be everywhere outside of England because I'm pretty sure they're called Lay's in Germany too. There's another product I don't think I've ever seen in England. This is how you make cordial. They're like tiny sachets that you add water to. It's way more environmentally friendly than the big bottles of squash that we dilute in England. So this is another interesting one. I think you can buy mayonnaise refills. Lots of mayonnaise is in these kinds of jars. But then you can also buy these ones. I don't know if Hellmann's now makes these refill packs in England too, or if this is something unique to Chile. But it's really interesting that there's like clearly a lot of awareness about reducing plastic. Next time you go to the supermarket, please look at how the mayonnaise is packaged and like write in the comments down below, because I'm really curious about whether or not these mayonnaise refills are just a Chilean thing or whether that's just how mayonnaise is packaged now and I've never noticed because I'm never paying attention in the supermarket in England. There seems to be two different grades of rice. So there's this one that says grade 2 and this one that's grade 1. And they're very different prices, so I guess it might mean something about the quality of the rice, but it kind of looks the same to me and I have no idea if this is a thing in England or not. I'm just gonna buy both and cook both and see if I can tell the difference by eating them. I'm still in the rice aisle. I cannot believe how much more expensive risotto rice is than regular rice. I found another thing that's different, and that's that a lot of shampoos are in a shelf with a door. Like here, you can see to like take out shampoo, and it's not cold in there, it's not a refrigerator. Not really sure why they're in tiny doors. And not all of them are. Very interestingly, only some brands are, and it doesn't seem to be related to price. So who knows? I have this theory that jam is packaged differently in every country. They do have some jam that looks familiar to me. This is how jam comes in England. In Germany, you have to pay a deposit on the bottle, and in Sweden it came in these like tubes that looked I'll just put a photo and I can't describe it. But this is jam. Look, this bag of jam. And I just cannot imagine how you're supposed to eat this without like covering your entire face and hands in jam, like Paddington Bear style. Sort of tempted to buy some just to try. This is another of my favorite things about food shopping abroad. Foods I do not recognize. It feels kind of like quite a hard tomato, like not yet ripe tomato. If you have any suggestions of things I should try to eat whilst I'm in Chile, write them in the comments below. Obviously I'm veggie and I keep kosher, so nothing meaty. I'm really tempted to go to the fruit market in the centre of the city and just buy one of every fruit and vegetable that I don't recognise and then try and figure out how to eat them. My main mission for coming to this store was to find kimchi, and I did. I was trying to find somewhere quiet to record because I feel like such a moron using my GoPro in the supermarket. So I'm hiding out in the biscuit aisle. Chileans have an incredibly high tolerance for bad Spanish. It's like the opposite of being in France. You can really make a lot of mistakes and just wander around being like, hey, hola, ¿dónde está kimchi? And people will try really hard to help and try and figure out what I'm saying. They're telling me which aisle to go to. I couldn't understand what they were saying, so they were like really determined to help me and like took me to the aisle. And so I thought that was really lovely. I've noticed it outside of the supermarket too, that people are so helpful. And also everyone is very friendly all the time. So I guess that's probably my favorite thing about Chile so far. Salud! It's kombucha. I don't know if you're actually only supposed to cheers on alcoholic drinks, and that's not alcoholic. I genuinely feel a sense of achievement for having gone to the supermarket and bought the ingredients I wanted. I'm feeling great, and I hope you are too. Have a nice week.